What if one wrong text message could completely transform your life? What if a stranger's kindness could turn your darkest moment into your greatest breakthrough? Before we dive into this incredible true story, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss our inspiring stories. If this story touches your heart at any point, smash that like button, and if you think someone needs to hear this today, share it with them. Trust me, you'll want to stick around until the very end for this one. This is the story of Leah Moreno, a desperate single mother who sent a text asking for $40 and accidentally changed 2 lives forever. Let's begin. Leah's fingers trembled as she typed the message at 2 a.m. The apartment was silent except for Mila's soft breathing in the crib beside her. The screen glowed harsh in the darkness, illuminating the stack of red-lettered bills on the coffee table. Electricity, water, rent past due. She swallowed hard and hit send on the text to her brother.
Please, Jake.
Just $40. Mila's formula ran out, and I don't get paid until Friday. I'm begging you. She set the phone down and rubbed her face. 28 years old, a degree in chemical analysis gathering dust, and here she was measuring her life in formula scoops and prayer. Mila stirred, her tiny fist opening and closing, and Leah felt that familiar ache in her chest, the one that whispered she wasn't enough. The phone buzzed. I think you have the wrong number. Leah's stomach dropped. She grabbed the phone, squinting at the screen. The number was 1 digit off from Jake's. Heat flooded her face. Of course. Of course this would happen now. I'm so sorry. Please ignore that. She was about to delete the thread when another message appeared.
Wait.
Is your baby okay? Leah stared at the words. 3 simple words from a complete stranger that somehow cracked something open inside her. Her vision blurred. We're fine. Really? I'm sorry to bother you. You didn't answer my question. Leah's hands shook harder now. Why was this person pushing? Why did they even care? She's 6 months old. Formula's expensive. I just need to make it a few more days. What's your name?
Leah.
Leah Moreno.
I'm Ethan.
Hold on. The 3 dots appeared and disappeared for what felt like an eternity. Then nothing. Leah exhaled slowly, embarrassment burning through her. Of course he'd stopped responding. What did she expect? She'd dumped her problems on a random stranger in the middle of the night. Then her phone lit up with a notification. A bank transfer. Her heart stopped. $3,000. She blinked, refreshed the app, checked again. The number didn't change. Another text came through. For Mila. No strings attached.
Get what she needs.
Leah's breath came in gasps. This couldn't be real. People didn't just send money to strangers. This had to be a scam, some elaborate setup. But the money was there, sitting in her account, real and tangible and impossible. I can't accept this. I don't even know you. You don't have to know me. Your daughter needs formula. Consider it done. The tears came then, hot and uncontrollable. Leah pressed her fist to her mouth to keep from sobbing out loud and waking Mila. For the first time in months, the crushing weight on her chest lifted just enough to breathe. Thank you. God, thank you. I don't know how to repay you. You don't need to. Just take care of your baby. 3 days later, Leah sent another message. She'd wrestled with herself for hours before finally giving in. The formula was bought. The fridge was stocked. But something kept pulling her back to that conversation, to the kindness of a stranger who'd asked if her baby was okay. I know you said no strings, but I wanted you to know I got everything she needs. You saved us. I mean that. The reply came faster this time. I'm glad. How are you doing otherwise? Leah hesitated. This was where normal people would say fine and move on. But something about Ethan's directness made her honest. Struggling. I used to work in a lab doing chemical analysis. Lost my job when I got pregnant. Haven't been able to find anything since that works with childcare. What kind of analysis? Quality control mostly. Testing compounds, checking for contamination, verifying formulas. I was good at it. I think. It's been a while. I run a tech company. Helion Dynamics. We have an opening in our research division for a lab assistant. It's entry-level, but the pay is decent and we have flexible hours. Interested? Leah read the message 3 times. Her pulse hammered in her throat. Are you serious? I don't joke about job offers.
Send me your resume.
I'll pass it to my assistant Clara. She'll set up an interview. Ethan, I can't let you do this. You've already done so much. I'm not doing anything except connecting someone who needs work with a position that needs filling. If you're qualified, you'll get hired on your own merit. If you're not, you won't. Simple as that. Why are you helping me?
There was a longer pause this time.
Because someone helped me once when I had nothing. And because you asked for $40 for your daughter, not for yourself. That says something about who you are. Leah closed her eyes, phone pressed to her chest. Mila cooed from her playmat, reaching for a stuffed rabbit. Outside the window, the city hummed with indifferent life. But in this moment, in this tiny apartment with its peeling paint and secondhand furniture, something shifted. Hope, fragile and terrifying, took root. The interview happened on a Tuesday. Clara West met her in the lobby of Helion Dynamics, a sleek building of glass and steel that made Leah feel impossibly small. Clara was warm, though, her smile genuine as she guided Leah through security. Ethan mentioned you have a baby, Clara said as they stepped into the elevator. We have a nursing room on the 4th floor. Full privacy, comfortable chair, mini fridge. And if you get the position, there's a daycare center 2 floors up. Subsidized by the company. Leah's throat tightened. That's incredible. Ethan insists on it. Says people do better work when they're not worried about their kids. The interview itself was straightforward. Technical questions about lab procedures, safety protocols, data analysis. Leah answered each one with growing confidence, muscle memory from her old life kicking in. The interviewer, a stern woman named Dr. Reeves, nodded approvingly. Your credentials are solid. When can you start? I got it. Did I stutter? Leah laughed, the sound surprising her. Monday? Monday it is. Clara will handle your paperwork. As Leah left the building, phone clutched in her sweaty palm, she sent Ethan a message. I got the job. Congratulations. You earned it. I start Monday. Thank you doesn't seem like enough. Then show up, do good work, and take care of Mila. That's enough. But it wasn't just Monday that changed everything. It was what she discovered 3 weeks into her new position, buried in routine data analysis that would turn both their worlds upside down. And if you want to find out what Leah uncovered that made a billionaire CEO go pale, don't go anywhere because this story is just getting started. Leah stared at her computer screen, the numbers swimming before her eyes. It was past 8 in the evening, most of the office empty except for the hum of servers and the distant sound of a cleaning crew. Mila was upstairs in the daycare, sleeping peacefully under the watchful eye of the night staff. Leah had told herself she'd just finished reviewing one more quarterly report before heading home. That was 2 hours ago. The discrepancies were small at first. A payment here that didn't match the invoice. A transfer there to a company she couldn't find in any vendor database. Individually, they meant nothing. Together, they formed a pattern that made her skin crawl. She pulled up another file, then another. Her heart beat faster with each new discovery. Payments totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars, all routed through shell corporations, all approved by the same signature. Martin Grayson, Chief Financial Officer. You're here late. Leah jumped, spinning in her chair. Ethan stood in the doorway of the lab, suit jacket gone, sleeves rolled up. She'd seen him around the building, but they hadn't spoken since she started. He looked tired. Mr. Cole, I didn't hear you come in. It's Ethan. And you looked pretty focused. He stepped closer, nodding at her screen. Find something interesting? Leah's mouth went dry. This was her boss. This was the man who'd given her a chance. And she was about to tell him his company was being robbed from the inside. I need to show you something. But not here. His expression shifted, sharpened. My office. 5 minutes. They sat across from each other in Ethan's corner office, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city lights. Leah pulled up the files on her laptop, turning it so he could see. I was running standard analysis on our quarterly expenditures. These payments caught my attention. She highlighted a series of transactions. They're marked as equipment purchases, but the vendor companies don't exist. I checked every database. No registration, no business license, nothing. Ethan leaned forward, his jaw tightening as he scrolled through the data. How much? So far? Close to $2 million over 18 months. Christ. He ran a hand through his hair. Who approved these? Martin Grayson. Every single one. The silence stretched between them, heavy and suffocating. Ethan's face had gone carefully blank, but Leah could see the anger simmering beneath. You're sure about this? I've triple-checked everything. The pattern is consistent. Shell companies, falsified invoices, money disappearing into accounts I can't trace. It's sophisticated, but it's there. Ethan stood, pacing to the window. Martin's been with me for 8 years. He helped build this company. I'm sorry. I know this isn't what you want to hear. He turned back to her.
No.
Don't apologize for doing your job. If this is real, if he's stealing from us, from everyone who works here, then he needs to answer for it. His eyes met hers. Can you keep digging? Find more proof. Are you asking me to investigate your CFO? I'm asking if you're willing to help me protect this company. But Leah, if you do this, it could get complicated. Martin's smart. If he realizes someone's onto him. I understand the risk.
Do you?
Because I need you to really think about this. You have Mila to consider. Leah thought of her daughter sleeping upstairs, of the tiny apartment they were saving to leave, of the life she was trying to build from nothing. Then she thought of all the other people working in this building who deserved better than being stolen from. I'll do it. But I need complete access to financial records. Everything. Ethan nodded slowly. You'll have it by morning. Over the next 2 weeks, Leah became a ghost in the system. She worked late every night after Mila was asleep upstairs, tracing money through increasingly complex networks. Ethan joined her most evenings, bringing coffee and asking questions, helping her piece together the puzzle. Look at this, Leah said one night, highlighting a new transaction. This company? It's registered to an address that doesn't exist. And this one? The incorporation date is 3 days after the payment was processed. He's getting sloppy. Or confident no one's looking. Ethan sat back in his chair, studying her. Why are you doing this? Really? What do you mean? You could have come to me with the initial findings and walked away. You've got a baby, a new job you can't afford to lose. Why risk it? Leah was quiet for a moment, choosing her words carefully. When I sent you that text asking for $40, I was terrified. Not just of being broke, but of what it meant about me as a mother. That I couldn't provide for my daughter. She met his eyes. You could have ignored that message. You could have sent me $40 and felt good about yourself. Instead, you changed my life. You gave me a chance when nobody else would. You earned this position.
Maybe.
But you're the one who opened the door. So when I found evidence that someone is stealing from you, from this company, from all the people who work here trying to feed their families, I couldn't walk away. I won't. Something shifted in Ethan's expression, a softness she hadn't seen before. My father built this company from nothing. When he died, everyone said I was too young, too inexperienced, that I'd run it into the ground within a year. He paused. A mentor of his took a chance on me, taught me everything. And when I asked him why help some kid with no business being in charge, he said because someone helped him once. That's how it works. We lift each other up. That's why you helped me. That's why I answered your text. The moment hung between them, fragile and honest. Then Leah's computer beeped. New data had finished processing.
Ethan.
Look at this. The files she pulled up were damning. Offshore accounts, falsified tax documents, email chains between Martin and unknown parties. It was everything they needed. This is enough to bury him, Ethan said quietly. What do? We take it to the board.
Tomorrow.
Emergency meeting. He looked at her. Are you ready for this? Leah thought of Mila's face, of the future she wanted to give her daughter, of doing the right thing even when it was terrifying. Yes. The boardroom was tense with anticipation. 12 people sat around the long table, confusion evident on their faces at being summoned without explanation. Martin sat near the head, impeccably dressed, confidence radiating from every gesture. He had no idea what was coming. Ethan stood at the front, a presentation remote in his hand. Thank you all for coming on short notice. We have a serious matter to address. He clicked to the first slide. For the past 18 months, Helion Dynamics has been systematically defrauded of approximately $2.3 million. The room exploded with voices. Martin's face remained carefully neutral, but Leah saw his hands tighten on the armrests. That's a serious accusation, Ethan, Martin said smoothly. Do you have proof?
Ida.
Leah, if you would. Leah stood on shaking legs, her laptop connected to the main screen. She walked them through everything. The shell companies, the false invoices, the offshore accounts. With each slide, Martin's expression grew darker. This is circumstantial at best, Martin interrupted. You're basing this on what? Data analysis by a lab assistant who's been here less than a month. I'm basing it on documented evidence, Ethan said coldly. Evidence that you approved fraudulent payments, that you created false vendor accounts, that you've been stealing from this company for over a year. Martin stood abruptly. This is ridiculous. You're going to take the word of some desperate single mother over mine? She's probably the one stealing, trying to frame me to cover her tracks. The words hit Leah like a physical blow. Around the table, board members exchanged glances. Then Ethan's voice cut through the room like ice. Sit down, Martin. Ethan, be reasonable. I said sit down. Something in his tone made Martin sink back into his chair. Ethan turned to the board. Leah discovered these discrepancies while doing routine analysis. She brought them to me immediately, despite knowing it could cost her everything to go up against a senior executive. She then spent 2 weeks gathering irrefutable evidence, working late every night, risking her job and her reputation because it was the right thing to do. He looked directly at Martin. So yes, I'm taking her word over yours. And so will law enforcement when I hand them this file in approximately 30 minutes. Martin's face drained of color. You can't do this. I already have. Security will escort you out. You're done here. 2 security guards appeared in the doorway. As they led Martin out, he looked back at Leah with pure venom in his eyes. You'll regret this. Both of you. The door closed behind him. Silence filled the boardroom. Then the board chairwoman spoke. Mr. Cole, it appears we owe you and Miss Moreno a debt of gratitude. Leah felt tears prickling her eyes. It was over. She'd done it. 2 months later, Leah stood in her new office, watching Ethan install a small bookshelf near the window. Mila played on a blanket in the corner, babbling happily at her reflection in a toy mirror. You know you don't have to build my furniture, Leah said, smiling. Head of Data Ethics deserves a proper bookshelf. Still can't believe that's my title. Ethan straightened, dusting off his hands. You earned it. The board was unanimous. Because of what happened with Martin. Because of who you are. He sat on the edge of her desk. You had every reason to keep your head down, do your job, collect your paycheck. Instead, you risked everything for people you barely knew. That's not just integrity, Leah. That's courage. Mila squealed, holding her arms up. Ethan walked over and lifted her gently, making silly faces that sent her into peals of laughter. Leah watched them, her heart full in a way she'd never imagined possible. Can I ask you something? She said quietly. Anything. That night you answered my text. If you'd known everything that would happen, would you still have replied? Ethan looked at her over Mila's head, his expression soft. Wrong number that changed 2 lives? Yeah. I'd reply every single time. Leah smiled, blinking back tears. Me too. Outside the window, the city stretched endlessly, full of wrong numbers and right moments, of strangers who became saviors, of single texts that rewrote entire destinies. And in that office, with her daughter giggling and her future bright, Leah Moreno finally understood what it meant to be seen, to be valued, to be enough. Sometimes the best things in life come from the mistakes we're afraid to make. If this story touched your heart, hit that subscribe button because we share inspiring true stories every single week. Drop a comment below and tell us where you're watching from, and if you've ever had a wrong number moment that changed your life. And don't forget to like this video because it helps more people find stories that remind us why kindness matters. Until next time, keep believing that one small act can change everything.